Hey, let's go answer the bell, huh?
If we just know what we're doing, work at it, and concentrate and do it.
Let's go, fellas! Go!
Brady takes the shotgun snap, pressure from his right, steps up, right.
Here we go. Welcome into another episode of the Patriots podcast. I'm Sean with Ryan and JJ.
Hello.
What's up?
All right. We are here for the first time in months talking about a Patriots victory.
It's been a while.
And for the first time in a long time, we didn't want them to win a game until, I guess, maybe afterwards. I was rooting for him. I was rooting for him real hard in the first half.
I wanted him to win.
But the second half, like right around the end of the third, beginning of the fourth quarter, I was like, we're just trying to give this away. I mean, Zappe throws the tip interception on a ball that he just like softballed to, I can't remember the receiver. And then tip interception, Zeke makes a great play, bringing the guy down. Next possession, Zappe tries to throw another interception. I think he might have hit the guy in the chest, rolling out to his right on a sideline. Like, we are trying to give this away real hard. Right now, it's too obvious. But yeah, let's focus on the first half, at least for right now. Bailey Zappe zinging the ball, moving down the field. It felt like our offense had some rhythm. We actually were able to push the ball more than 4 yards downfield. James, how did it feel to take in a Patriots offense that looked like a professional caliber unit?
Yeah, I mean, it like we said, it's been a while. It was really refreshing to see. That I've been saying it for a few weeks now. The odds are against us to keep being so bad. It's the NFL. Things have to break open. I mean, someone has to miss a tackle at some point. You're going to score some points. Wasn't really the case this week in terms of, it was a lot of schemed up stuff. There weren't a ton of big plays, but Zappe completing big plays, good throws to players that you went out and went after. I think before this game, so many receivers are ruled out. Everyone's saying, what's he going to do? We literally have no receivers. Juju Smith-Schuster shows up, 4 catches, 90 yards, by far his best season or best game of the season so far. Looked like an actual receiver. I mean, a lot of us had cast him aside as like, he can't play anymore. He's done. And now, he has a pretty respectable game, makes right on the first drive, gets a 36, 37-yard reception, goes up, gets it, fights the receiver off him, or the defender off him for it. It was nice. Zeke is coming out of the backfield. He had 7 receptions for 70 yards, was moving the ball well. Hunter Henry had 2 nice touchdowns, one of the best throws we've seen all season. Down the sideline, down the seam, which we've been calling for months. Where's the seam play, guys? Doesn't, he completes it. So it's like, oh, wow, this is an offense that is moving, like can move, and can be respectable. They could have won the last 3 or 4 games where we caught, if they played this well. 3 touchdowns. We haven't had a touchdown in a month? A month?
It's been a month with the bye week. Yeah.
It was a lot early. The first quarter and the beginning of the second quarter was really good. And then we kind of got back into our mold of, sucking. But, yeah, early was really impressive. It was a lot of rhythm to the way they were moving the ball. Zeke catching the ball out of the backfield was huge. Just taking the ball and making some yards after the catch. Some long ones there. Easy first drive. It was like the Steelers didn't really show up to play. We get a pick there. We score again. Hunter Henry over the middle for the touchdown. Early second quarter, we get the ball again. That throw to Hunter Henry to the left sideline there, deep. Safety maybe misjudges a little bit. Beautiful throw. It's a fantastic throw. One of the best we've seen.
He read a great read the play,
Just like you said earlier, like that was one of the best throws of the season that we've seen from this offense. So yeah, I mean, at least we've found that. I think we've discovered that Bailey Zappe can be a useful backup in this league, and that's really what we've been trying to find out. The Steelers needed that game. And I don't know what the hell happened. They really didn't show up until very late in the game. They went for it on a 4th and 2 late where they could have kicked a field goal. Come to find out, next time they get the ball, they score a touchdown, get the 2-point conversion. That field goal would have looked pretty good. It would have put them in a tie ball game situation. So, a little disappointed and not disappointed. I was happy to say the Steelers didn't really show up in this game. Mitchell
Yeah.
Trubisky is not, he's not anything special. We know that.
He's getting booed out of the stadium
They
for
got
three
got
In the
quarters
first
of it.
problems.
half.
They
In
do
the
it.
first
and-
half.
Yeah, we've been waiting to see like why are the Steelers winning so many games, and we got Mitch Trubisky, so we didn't really get a good chance to find out why. But man, they got some problems over there with attitude. Deontay Johnson is bitching all the time. You see George
And Pickens, dude.
George
Pickens,
Pickens
just
on
his
some of these
his
plays
body
is like,
language on the field,
oh,
man.
his body language is poor.
I thought I
see-
was a big fan of his, and then you see that like he's just not in the game. Like they
Some of
went
these
down, he
plays-
just checked out. He was like pissed,
Yeah,
crazy.
some of
It
these
was
some of these
crazy.
plays that weren't designed for him, he's literally walking as casual as can be off the line of
Yeah.
scrimmage. It's like, ooh, that's not a good look,
Yeah, definitely. The Steelers drop 2 in a row to 2-10 teams. They lose to
Yeah.
the Cardinals the previous week, and then this one. They're in rough shape. Yeah, the bubble had to burst at some point.
Mhm.
It's weird to see people not playing hard from Mike Tomlin. You got to
Yeah.
think he would have control over that. I just want to touch on the Patriots in the second half. So they scored that third touchdown right at the end of the second quarter. They did have one
Yep.
more possession, but then starting in the third quarter, the Patriots have these are their possessions: 4 plays punt, 4 plays interception, 3 plays punt, 5 plays punt, 3 plays punt, 3 plays punt. Those are our second half
Yeah.
Yeah, it
possessions.
was pretty clear that Pittsburgh made adjustments and we didn't
Yeah.
do anything really. So
And we were lucky to only have the one turnover.
and not
in
a
the
lot of
second-
Yeah.
yards on any of those drives. I think the most yards we got in the second half was a 20-yard drive with
Yeah.
five plays. So it was really abysmal in the second half.
Exactly.
I-
So they came back to normal at that point. You mentioned Juju having the quick start. Tyquan Thornton was on one of the 3 active receivers, did absolutely nothing, looked completely invisible out there. I know he did have 3 catches on 5 targets, but nothing substantial out of him.
No.
Hunter Henry was our best weapon on the outside. Juju just had that one great catch down the field. It was a fantastic catch. Zeke was definitely the heartbeat of the offense. I did notice the offensive line played pretty good. I thought we really protected on TJ Watt, who got banged up early in the game. So who knows
Yeah.
how much that affected him. But we protected against him really well. Cam Hayward gave us some issues. That's going to happen. He's fantastic. And City
Yeah, he's
Sow
a good
is an
player.
average at best right guard.
Mhm.
And then the defense, it just continues to make plays between Barmore and Peppers. They're playing well. Probably gave up too many points in this game, but some of them came off of that short field, off the turnover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to be like really rooting for this team. It also looks like the team's got some more mojo. Like the Patriots have some more hop in their step.
Yeah, guys are playing a little harder.
They're playing a little harder. I feel like it's really always been there on defense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
it's,
they
it's
were thrilled after this game.
in the
they
locker
were-
room. Yeah,
I mean, just
jacked
on the
up.
sidelines, they were so excited. I mean, I was pretty pumped. It was a Thursday night game. Also, you can't discount it. Thursday night games are tough. We've been doing the show now for a long time, and Thursday night games, there's always a trend to them where it's a tough game for players. It's a tough travel game. It's always a tough away game. You play Sunday and you got to get on a plane by Wednesday and get the hell out of Dodge and go wherever it is. So it's only Pittsburgh, not a huge flight, but still that throws you off. And they won in Pittsburgh. I mean, it's, Mitch Trubisky, we're playing for nothing. I'm happy we saw, like you said, a little more pep in their step. We see that there's players that are going to be contributing next year that maybe a couple weeks ago, it looked like you didn't have any contributors.
Yeah.
You're stuck with Juju Smith-Schuster for another year. It's nice to see that he can make a couple catches,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's a decent offense, and your offensive line played all right. And Zeke's looking like, I remember I heard someone bring it up the other day. We were all pissed we didn't get Dalvin, right?
Yeah.
Dalvin went for double, triple the money, whatever the hell it was. Zeke, he has looked way more formidable than, I don't know if Dalvin's even playing. Is he hurt? I don't know
I
what
just I
happened.
cut him from my
last week.
fantasy team a long time ago.
Yeah.
He's no touches.
Not
Right,
fantasy
so-
relevant.
It's good to see Zeke. I think he was really excited to show that he still got it. Montgomery made the
Oh,
worst
God.
fucking play of all time on the, allow. So that's what they got
Right.
the block punt.
I forgot about that.
So
Yeah.
Ty Montgomery just doesn't block his guy. He kind of blocks him, but doesn't really block him because I've never, it looked like the guy got uninvaded to the punter to was it Ryland, and
Behringer.
he wasn't. Behringer, sorry, Behringer. He wasn't. He had Ty Montgomery supposedly blocking him, and me and Ryan were talking about it all day. The next day, like, how is he still on the team? What is he doing that he's on this team? And then he
What
got
does he
cut
do that's positive? Nothing.
Sunday.
Nothing. And I told Belichick via my mind in my eyes when we made eye contact on Saturday morning, cut this fucking guy. Why is he on the fucking team? And he read that and he knew
Yeah.
he's got to go. You're
All
right.
right, so we got to hear the story. So both of you guys were working College Game Day, or at
Yeah.
least setting up for College Game Day for the Army Navy game at Gillette Stadium. And Ryan, you were there on game day.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
And so
awesome.
you were near Belichick when he was on stage squeezing
I was probably
his
like
head into that helmet.
6-7 feet from him, trying to coil cable as my cameraman ran around, sprinting around through crowds, trying not to trip people with the cable that followed. You
Jeez.
got to over under. So yeah, stressful. But when Belichick was on stage, I didn't really give a shit what the cameraman was doing. And Kraft, like I'm listening to the show.
Yeah.
Probably not what they want to hear, but all good.
That was great. How good Belichick was great on that show.
He was
great.
awesome. He was
Fucking
awesome. I gotta
squeezing his
say-
head into that,
I gotta say,
telling stories.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah.
Navy stories. He's I mean, the guy's from Annapolis,
So
He knew-
crazy.
He knew
And
Lee Corso.
Lee
in the
Corso.
60s.
I know, dude.
Incredible.
I couldn't believe that. And he was like, "Oh yeah, when Corso got thrown into the lake, I didn't realize Corso was a coach there for that long."
I didn't.
Yeah.
I never asked the question of where Lee Corso came from. He
Yeah,
was
he
just
was
always
before-
on College
Yeah.
Game Day.
Yeah, and it was
Belichick's
Belichick was on his staff. That is the
Yeah.
funniest, most
His
random.
life is literally revolving around football since he was born. His dad was a coach. He grew up with that Army Navy, like that's all. And he made a great point about it. Like, if you're 1-10 and your job is in jeopardy, if that one win is against Army, then you're
You're all
good.
set. Yeah, it's better to be 1-10 beating
Yeah, and
Army
if you're
than
10-1
losing
Yeah,
them.
if you're 10-1 and you lose to Army, then you failed.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was really cool.
That's the saying.
Crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, he's right. That's everything to those guys, and you see the cadets there, and it means everything to them. And I got some really cool video that I prefer Navy, but those guys are all great, and like
Yeah.
to see
Before
them
the
there,
game-
it's a totally different experience than it's more than football.
Yeah,
It's
I can
very
only
cool.
imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember before the show last week, Ryan, you were saying like it's such a boring game every year. This year was an exciting game. That finish was great.
The game itself is usually,
Yeah,
like,
not the
Three
most
quarters.
talented.
3/4 of it are
Football
kind of
teams.
boring.
it's not the most advanced modern football you can find, but
Yeah.
it means a lot, and that's
That's cool.
the part that matters. So,
Yeah. And then of
Very-
course
very
McAfee
cool.
puts
very cool
ahead.
seeing the people skydive in, getting
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the choppers going like 10 feet from the stadium,
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
which I'm sure is that's not supposed to happen, but they're military. they do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I mean, the cannons and guns
and Bill was in a good mood
Yeah.
because they were coming off a win.
Yeah.
First
The
time
guy
in a
still
while.
got it. He still got it when he wants to turn it on there. A lot different from his press conferences.
Pat
Yeah, I know.
McAfee asked Bill a question, or Bob Kraft, but he said something weird to Bob Kraft, like, "We all know what's coming."
Yeah, he said it cryptically.
It was awkward, I think, for
Hey.
everyone there. We were all like, I don't know if you should say that right now.
Don't
like,
don't bring it up.
Yeah.
Don't bring it up.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
whether it's true or not, like, not really the time for that, you know.
Well, then-
Speaking of that, did you hear Tom Curran's?
Karn's thing, today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
James, tell us about it. What did he say?
He basically just said that it has already been decided from his inside sources that I think it was after the Colts game, it was so bad that they decided they're gonna the decision to move on from Bill has already been decided,
Mhm.
right?
He said a decision has been made. Did he say that the decision is to
Oh.
move on?
I just assumed it was to move on. No, that he
You
just said the
gotta
decision
fig-
has been made. I feel like the context I was hearing it when in was like that. Oh yeah, it's already made. He's done.
Oh, okay. The way I read it was a decision has been made.
Oh.
Like they're not considering things anymore. Which
I'd be
by
surprised. I'd be surprised if there's not a whole lot on this team that you can really hang your hat on right now.
yeah,
I know
and
Bill-
if it's coming off that loss in Germany, I don't know why you would decide to keep somebody after
Right.
the result of that game.
Yeah, well,
Right,
you know,
right, exactly.
when there's smoke, there's fire. I'm sure that internally they've thought about, like, it's been 4 years of rebuild, and we're in a worse position we've been in. You know, it hasn't gotten any better. The roster's depleted. You know, I tend to trust Tom Curran, and I don't know exactly what those words mean, if it's one way or the other, but people second guessing him. Like, Tom Curran doesn't report stuff that he doesn't have solid, and neither does Mike Reese or you know, a bunch of these guys, Doug Kyde, good
Yeah,
journalists.
yeah.
So, you know, you
Yep.
got to put some stock into it.
It's moving in that direction. Well, the Pats still, even despite winning, still hold the number 2 pick in the draft. And because the tiebreaker with Arizona is based on strength of schedule. And I guess their strength of schedule is slightly better or worse than us. I think that's how it works. Oh no, it's better.
There's this
So it's like
better. Ours
because
is
they
worse.
played tougher teams. So
Yeah.
since we have the same record playing worse teams, we are a worse team. So we get a
Right,
better draft pick.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the other games this weekend. Should we kick it off with Chiefs Bills? We called this one out as a highlight game for the weekend.
Yeah.
Lived up to it pretty early. I
Mhm.
thought the Bills came out really good in the first half, and it dwindled a bit. I don't know. The Stephon Diggs usage is still confusing to me. I don't know
Right.
what's going
It
on
is
there.
weird.
Yeah, he looks off too when he's even in there.
Yeah. So I don't.
He's not as explosive as he's been.
He might
know?
be dealing with something,
He's
dealing with
probably
an
dealing
injury.
with some 11 targets and only 4 catches for 24 yards. Really
Yeah.
off. I thought James Cook saved their ass in the first half. He was awesome.
He
Especially
was running hard.
catching the ball out of the backfield. He was gashing them. He had one play. It was a really cool play design where they had a motion behind the running back, and they took the running back and ran him up the seam like kind of like a short wheel, where it wasn't really towards the sidelines. It was more like a go. They nailed him on that, and it was a touchdown. But he had multiple 10-yard runs in this game. He had multiple 10+ yard catches. He really bailed them out early, and Josh Allen was under a ton of pressure, man.
Yeah.
All game, man. That offensive line is a sieve right now. So really huge for them to eke this one out, especially in Kansas City.
They needed it. Buffalo needed it.
Buffalo needed that game badly.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at the records now. Buffalo's been having a terrible season up to
Yeah.
their standards so far this season. Chiefs have been leading the division from the get-go. The
Mhm.
Bills are 1 game behind the Chiefs in the win-loss record. 7-6 to 8-5.
Right,
I mean,
right.
it's like neck and neck right there. Not that they're necessarily competing against each other for a playoff spot, given what's
Yeah.
going on in the AFC West. But the Bills really needed it, and they're right back in the thick of this thing right now. There's 7 teams in the AFC right now.
Everybody's in there. And I mean, just for these two teams, you know, the fourth quarter, it was any teams, you know, there's been a lot of drama about this game, the way it ended, as we'll get into, but you know, they both had a million chances, I felt like, in the end, in the fourth quarter, and nobody could do anything. It was, you know, we're looking at 2 of the best quarterbacks here in the league. Mahomes, undeniably the best, and they both couldn't get things going.
Yep.
You know, get to the 40 or 50 and sputter, can't do anything, and it kept happening. You know, it shows this is a marquee matchup. I don't know if defenses are better. it doesn't look like the defenses are playing that much better. I don't know all the, all these defensive players, but it was
looks-
just, it
look-
was, what was it?
It looks
Yeah.
to me like the same thing we've been talking about. It's just both off the offensive line play on both
Yeah,
teams.
just
is
getting dominated.
all over the place, And
Yeah.
I mean, come out in the first quarter, Patrick Mahomes has pressure in his face, throws the ball, gets tipped up. The guy catches the ball, A lot of just like, I feel like it's the pressure in this league right now. There's offensive line. If you have a good offensive line right now and you can count on them, like maybe Philadelphia, maybe San Francisco.
Dallas has been
That's
coming along
something.
lately too.
Yeah, that's something
Dallas
that
has been
like
good.
teams just don't have right now in the NFL.
No, it's crazy,
Yeah,
dude.
they don't
It's-
exist.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Let's talk about, well, first, Mahomes and Allen are both top 5 in interceptions.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I knew
right.
Allen definitely was. He's right up. He's probably like number 2, isn't he?
I think he's number 2 behind Howell. Sam Howell's got
He
the
got away
most.
with a couple in this game too, so I want to see
He
his
always
turnover
does.
where the play percentage is probably really high.
Yeah. Let's talk about the last 2 minutes. So tie game, 17-17. Bills have the ball. They're driving. It's like I think it was a 3rd down. They throw the ball downfield, incomplete. They're inside field goal range, but they get a penalty. So
Yeah.
they get a defensive holding, 1st down, Bills ball. It was at like Kansas City 20, I want
Right.
to say. And 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Kansas City's got 2 timeouts. What do the Bills do here? They throw the ball 3 consecutive plays. And Kansas City uses 0 timeouts, and it goes to the 2-minute
right,
warning.
I
They kick
forgot
a
about
field
that.
goal.
Yeah.
And Kansas City gets the ball with 2 timeouts in a minute 50. It's like, what the fuck were you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
I know. What was it? Yeah, they burned off
So
like
dumb.
12 seconds in 3 plays or something.
12 seconds and 3 plays in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
situation. I mean, it was the most bonehead clock management. Andy Reid's on the other sideline being like, I could do it better than that. And everyone
Literally.
knows Andy Reid's history. And then Kansas City's driving down, and I still have it in my head that Mahomes is just going to do it. It's just like that.
Yeah,
When
It's a
Aaron
lot of time.
Rodgers
It's a
was
lot
in the
of time
zone,
for him.
you're like, he's going to do it. All he needs is a field goal, easy.
Yeah.
And then they almost get it. Well, they had that great play. Throws it to Kelsey. Kelsey laterals it. That lateral
Right,
was
right.
like
To Tony.
millimeters away from the defender's hand when he released it. It was
He looked
fucking
pretty sure in that
perfect.
The
throw.
IQ,
Yeah. I thought-
the IQ there for Travis Kelsey to make that throw and on the money, just like
It's a
he's about to
ballsy
get
play,
hit.
man. I mean, he had just gotten plenty of yards for them to get back in the game and do what they needed to do.
That was
Yeah.
awesome, but
But
But it was an off the charts play. The flag comes out, offensive offsides. I was rooting for the Bills, but I still wanted that play to stand because it was so awesome. But yeah, Kadarius Toney lines up offsides. Mahomes loses a gasket.
lose it.
Yeah, he was able to compose himself somewhat and continue
was
going in
he?
that series.
For him, I couldn't believe it. He's never done anything like that. from
No,
what
it
I
was-
remember.
It was the most
He
I've
loves
seen
to
him
do it.
erupt. And I was thinking about it afterwards, and the way that they've lost a couple games now late like this, the Packers game last week.
Yeah,
I bet it was a cumulative effect. I bet it wasn't just this
definitely.
one thing.
dude, it was more of that he's just pissed at his shitty receiver for being offsides.
Yeah, I mean, it's like any high school football player knows if you're going to line up on the line, you check with the ref.
Yeah,
And
Yep.
and you watch the video, and Tony steps up there and he does like a fast glance like this. He doesn't like wait to see that the ref gives him the nod.
right,
it's the
right. He
simplest
doesn't
thing.
even care. And he was, there's a lot of flack about this where, Mahomes is saying, here we are again talking about a play, a penalty instead of the football game, blah, blah, blah. I understand that point to, a little bit, but it was a penalty.
Yeah,
It was a clear, he was over the line. I don't know what you're supposed to do. You're just supposed to let it go because it's a cool play. You're like, well, it's a cool play. We'll let that one go.
yeah.
I mean, I hope they're not doing that.
I don't know if you guys saw it. There was a tweet I saw that was like, okay, in honor of one call going against the Chiefs, let's put a thread together of all the plays that
All
have
the ones
gone
that
their
went.
favor.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh my God,
I
it just
know.
kept going and
I
going.
know.
and
They-
Dude, the
kinda-
Patriots
kinda-
won in 2019 when they
it was
won. Remember that?
incredible.
Nikhil
know.
Harry, right? You were
N'Keal
talking
Harry,
about that?
That's right.
That was on there.
Dude,
Would
karma's
have
a
won the
bitch.
game.
Karma's
It
a
goes.
bitch.
Yeah, it happens. So the Chiefs end up losing this one. Even
Just
the post game
love
press
to see their
conferences were nuts.
Unraveling, Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And they're coming to Gillette, which is hilarious. If we beat
Yeah.
them, that's like a
Oh my God.
collapse status for them.
Could you imagine if it's like a classic game and the NFL is like, why did we take this off prime time?
Literally.
Tell you what, if anything goes wrong with the sky cam in this game, you can blame me because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but they got me working the sky cam
Oh, shit.
for this one. I'm gonna be
Make
up
He's
in
gonna
it.
be up there.
Just make sure it's secured.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm probably gonna be freezing my ass off. Who knows how high I am? You know.
Damn. Well, that'll be cool. Okay. Next game. What do we got? We had a couple upsets this weekend. Notably the Bears.
Almost every game felt like an upset. Just about.
The
Bears,
Bears
yeah.
crushed the Lions. The Browns beat the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence comes back in the game and they still lose to the Browns.
Love
And then the Texans fall apart against the Jets.
Texans. I mean,
Boom, boom, boom.
Texans Jets. I think it was 30-6, and they lost C.J. Stroud to a concussion in the second quarter. So he's in concussion protocol. I mean, that's tough. Against that offense or against that defense, you're not gonna.
Zach
you're not gonna
Wilson
do much
scores
with who came in. Davis Mills.
30 in the second half is unbelievable.
Yeah, Zach Wilson had a decent game. Jets are a tough team, man. They're gonna fight, and that defense is not going anywhere. So
They're
that to
sitting at-
me was one of the probably the biggest upset. If I had to say like before the week, are you gonna pick the Jets or Texans? I would have been like, oh yeah, Texans. But
Yeah.
CJ Stroud's it's a huge loss, man. He could be out for 4 weeks.
Yeah. It could be. And they did say it's a concussion, so it's almost definite he won't play this week. Texans
Yeah.
are at 7-6, Jets at 5-8. So the Texans still have a chance, but without that quarterback,
Texans could miss
chances
the
look
playoffs
pretty slim.
without CJ
Yeah.
Stroud.
Who is their backup?
That'd be
It is Davis Mills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Davis Mills, yeah. Right.
You could do
Yeah.
a lot worse than Davis Mills. That's not that bad.
Yeah. I know we're glancing over it, but the Lions are imploding right in front of our
I
eyes.
thought that was like a mid-season
Mhm.
bump in the road, but it's looking a little bit worse than that, isn't it?
It's been weeks in a row. They almost
been
dropped
waiting
one to
for
the
it.
Saints.
Really
They got-
Waiting
struggling.
for it.
Got beat on Thanksgiving.
The Bears defense is really nothing special. To only what did they put up 14?
Yeah, and
I don't have it in front of me.
Goff threw what, 2 or 3 picks? He threw a few
I
picks.
think he threw 2,
Yeah, 28-13 it was.
13. Okay. Yeah,
Goff
it's
outdoors in December. It's still a thing.
still a thing.
Still a thing.
Still a thing.
Speaking of quarterbacks that got hurt, Justin Herbert breaks a finger on his throwing hand, surgery, out for the rest of the year.
Probably for the
Rondo.
best. Just save him.
Yeah,
No.
right. There's nothing to play for now. They've got four or five wins. I mean, they're just
Like maybe
5
that,
wins. They're 5
maybe
and
that
8.
game could have gone differently if he played the whole thing, but I don't know, man. After watching, I mean, I watch a good amount of Chargers. They're very predictable, man. Like, there's not a lot of nuance to the offense. There's no
No.
power running game to set up anything else. It's like we're throwing at Eckler or Williams, and
Yeah.
that's or Eckler or Allen, and that's what it is. And it's just very one dimensional. There's not a lot of trickery. I
yet
just
Kellen
feel like-
Moore is a head coaching candidate.
Yeah, I don't buy it. I just
Yeah.
feel like they need a power running game to really open things up.
Yeah.
It makes
Yeah.
everyone look better, and it takes the ball out of Justin Herbert's hands. Like Eckler's a great running back, but he's basically what he is a glorified third down back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a goal line. He's a great goal line back too.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. They need more of a power running game. And I really think that unlocks Zion Johnson. That's kind of what he was
Yes.
coming out of Boston College. I don't like what they're doing. I never seem to like what they're fucking doing.
They got coaching issues out there.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple other games. The Bucks take down the Falcons, and the Bucks take over first place in the NFC South. Cincinnati beats up on the Colts. Jake Browning. Is
Killing
Jake
it.
Browning real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good play.
I mean,
Got a lot of talent around him to throw to. Makes it easy.
My God. I mean, that's 2 straight games where his stats are through the roof.
Yeah.
It's like he's playing Pac-12 football again. The Ravens and the Rams, a game we called out as going to be very
That
close.
came down to the what that one OT.
Overtime,
Yeah, that was big.
overtime.
Overtime, punt return touchdown
Yeah,
for the
that was
win.
Crazy.
Like the Marcus Jones special. Yeah, that was pretty cool. The Ravens continue to play these tight games, and the Rams aren't going away. The Rams are still in it in the NFC.
I mean, dude, when you have teams like Seattle dropping what 2 or 3 straight now, they just lost to the Niners, which was expected, but still was a very competitive game.
Yeah.
Rams are
I
at
gotta
6 and
say,
7
like,
in the thick of
The
it.
AFC right now, we always, talk about Buffalo and Kansas City and Cincinnati, these teams that we think are going to be really, really good. Baltimore kind of gets slept on in that debate. And, I know it's a tough game here. They barely won it, but I mean, they're what are they, 9-3, 10-3?
They always get slept on because they can't do anything in
I
the
think
playoffs.
the one reason they get slept on a lot is because Lamar Jackson is usually hurt by the end of the season.
Well, so it's the playoffs. They always suck in the playoffs every year. They get eliminated game 1. It's been like the past 5 years now. So 6 years. Can't remember the last time they won and got to the next
Right now,
the
today,
divisional game.
I might say they're the best team in the AFC.
Yeah,
Seems like it. Right now they're playing,
the best.
And
They're
not just
playing the best
record,
right now.
like they're actually like.
I mean, it should be Miami, but Miami just keeps dropping games. They should
Their
win.
defense is loaded.
We'll get to that.
They got lots of weapons. They seem to have finally found like a premier running back.
Mhm.
Keaton Mitchell. Zay Flowers continues to score. I think that's 3 straight weeks where he scored.
Odell Beckham's playing
Odell
well.
Beckham's playing well.
Looks like himself.
Isaiah Likely stepping in for Mark Andrews, doing a really good job. He scored again this week.
Yeah, he looked good.
He's a good player. Decent offensive line. They're just like solid pretty much everywhere. You know, whereas
Did the Rams
most-
get a safety in this game? They
I don't know.
scored 2 points in the third quarter. I guess I didn't watch close enough.
That's
but
got to be a safety. Must be.
pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
that was a good one, and really good primetime games. The one we were all looking forward
safety.
to, Cowboys Eagles, didn't turn out to be that much of a game. Cowboys just
No.
dominated start to
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah.
Eagles are on a
No
little bit
answers
of
for
slide
CeeDee
here, huh?
Lamb, but yeah, the Eagles are coming back down to earth. Now that division is up for grabs between those two teams, which is shocking.
Yeah, but have you seen the schedules for both of them coming up? It's way different.
Eagles have an easy schedule.
Oh my God, yeah. So
They have the Giants, don't they?
they
Twice.
got the Giants 2 times.
That's what it was.
the
Giants
Cardinals
twice.
and the Seahawks, and the Cowboys have Bills, Dolphins, Lions, Commanders.
Yeah.
Seahawks are
gauntlet.
pretty feisty though.
Yeah, but they got the Giants twice and the
Giants
Cardinals.
twice.
They could
Giants
drop that
twice.
Tommy
game.
Cutlets. You have no belief in Tommy Cutlets?
Tommy Cutlets. Hey, Tommy won this. He beat Green Bay.
Beat
Yeah.
Green Bay. Did you see that game? He came
Comeback
back in the fourth quarter to get
gonna
the
be
field
honest.
goal.
I did not watch Green Bay and the New York Giants. I'm gonna tell you that.
I watched that one over the Dolphins game.
I watched the Manning cast. They were switching back and forth.
Oh,
awesome.
that's even better. Manning cast red zone.
Awesome.
Wow, that's cool.
Primetime television.
Yeah, it's so fun. I giggle every single time the fans are doing the Tommy DeVito. It's so good.
Dude,
And
it's
his
so
is
good.
so subtle. He just goes. He does it like the Godfather, and the people in the stands are doing it
doing a lot
huge.
of
I love it.
Theirs is way over
That's
exaggerated.
got to
just
be the
having a-
best trademark celebration. I don't know.
It's the best one in years.
Years. Yeah, it's
It's
definitely
so
a long
good.
time.
I always like Victor Cruz's salsa.
Yep. I was thinking about that one too.
The Dion end zone dance was great. Man,
yeah, but Victor Cruz, you got to think about that. That was what, 10, 15 years ago at this point?
Yeah, exactly.
When he
I mean,
came onto the scene.
when Jefferson started doing the gritty, that was cool.
Yeah, but now it's shitty.
Now it's too much.
Yeah, everyone does it.
Everybody copied.
Yeah.
You know what? Beckham had some good ones. Odell
Did he?
Beckham had.
I can't even think of any of his.
He had
I
some
can't
of the
remember.
trendy dances, and man, he get on it, man. He was good.
These guys. So the Giants beat the Packers. Packers were flying high, and they come back in that win. That's 3 straight wins for the Giants. We don't have to worry about them as a top pick candidate right now.
No, yeah. They're playing.
Just
They're
thought it was
playing all right.
Greatest celebration ever, and it wasn't even a touchdown. It was an interception. Merton Hanks with the
Oh
neck.
God. God,
where he
yeah.
would like snap his
His
fucking-
neck was
Oh
insane.
my god, dude.
Yeah, he looked like a pelican getting a fish down.
Dude, that was the best.
What?
JJ, you're too young.
We got to
Yeah.
talk about
I'm
the
the same age as Sean over there. Don't
no,
worry.
it's the 4-month difference is a big deal. The Dolphins are up 2 touchdowns against the
Crazy, dude.
Titans with 3.5 minutes to go and somehow lose the game.
Lose.
They punt to Levis. Titans go down and score within a minute. It's just like bing bang boom. He did a bunch of the like drive starters, dump off to the running back, let him get the first down. A couple of those get out of bounds. Shot to DeAndre Hopkins, shot to somebody else on the left sideline. Touchdown to Nick Westbrook Akine.
And then the keynote, yeah.
And then Vrabel did the smart thing. He went for 2 right away.
Yeah.
They get the 2. Now we're only down 6. And then they stop the Dolphins again, go down, score, and then the Dolphins can't return that. Tyreek Hill got hurt in the first half and came back in the second half, but was limited. And I think it's just a perfect example of how valuable he is.
I was just gonna say that.
Dude, their whole
He's
team, their
insanely
offense
valuable,
fell
dude.
apart.
He changes everything when he's on the field.
Yeah.
So for
I
him,
mean,
to
he
be
makes
out,
Waddle such a better player because,
makes
Waddle's still
everyone
in
better.
there,
he makes everyone better. He makes.
No,
the
I know,
entire-
but for sure. But Waddle, I feel like should be a guy, or I think of a guy that should be able to dominate, right? And
Yeah.
it's not even
you
close.
You almost have to play either a double or a cover 2 shell, and then you have these running backs that are coming out of the backfield that are like
really fast.
sub 4.3 speed, and it's like.
You need
Okay,
a
well,
cornerback
that's,
on
I
them.
mean, unless you set the edge and really force them back inside, you're fucked, and it's a guaranteed 5-6 yard play. Their offense is really designed in a really cool way, but when Tyreek Hill is out, I mean, everything just kind of goes away. So
Yeah.
and you look at some of these quarterbacks around the league too. It's like, who's going to be MVP this year? Because for my money, it's Tyreek Hill, and
It seems like it.
And then not even in stats, it's the impact he has on the team.
Definitely, dude. And the way they lost too, they had, what was it? They had over a minute left. They needed 3 points.
Yeah, wasn't much.
The most potent offense seemed like they would have no problem. They got a first down with ease. Tyreek Hill took the first series off, comes back, and then they get to a 3rd and 2, I think. And then Tua takes a sack, real bad sack on 4th and 2
in this game. Yeah,
they get 3rd and 2, don't get it. 4th and 2, don't get us. He gets a real bad sack. It's like all you need is 2 yards. There's plenty of time. It wasn't like there was 15 seconds left and he needed to get a play out so he could get right back to the line, go again. They had over a minute left, I think, at that point, but then he just got, that was it. Take the sack, you're done.
He got irritated in the pocket, just ran into the sack.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Listen to
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you finish up on Tennessee. I want to talk
Tennessee's
about AFC.
got a sneaky defense too. Like some of these guys get after it. They play hard. Vrabel's coaching them.
Dude.
The kid from BC there,
Yeah.
Harold Landry had 3 sacks. I think
They're not bad. Then Levis. Was it Will Levis?
You gotta give.
He was good in the fourth quarter.
You got to give it to him 4th quarter. And then I saw the pregame with him. I actually liked what he said. They oh, hey, what do you feel about, you fell a little bit more than you wanted and this, that, and the other thing. And he's like, yeah, I don't really care about any of that. We're focused on this team and this group of guys. It sounded pretty good. I was surprised. It was very professional, mature for what he doesn't seem like the most mature guy, but it sounded very mature. It's
No
like,
and
okay.
stuffs.
No and stuff.
Stuffs and whatever. I mean, he was and he played well. He did what he needed to do at the end of that game. They're only 5-8, but they just took Miami. Seemed like the team that could run away with this and kind of, if not beat out Baltimore for the number 1, they'd have home field get the number 2 seed basically. And they keep losing games like this.
Yeah. So listen to the Dolphins' next 4 games are against the Jets, Cowboys, Ravens, and then finish up at the Bills. The Bills are 2 games back in the division right now. They have Cowboys, Chargers, Patriots, Dolphins. That last game of the season could decide the division.
Yeah.
And the Bills beat the Dolphins earlier in the year, so they win the tiebreaker. they got that head to head if they're able to win that game. It's possible the Bills come back and win this
Win
division.
the division.
It
Yeah, I could
is,
see
yeah.
it. I could see it, especially with the Dolphins schedule there. They could lose.
They could lose 2 games easy.
They could lose almost all those games.
I mean, if they lose enough games,
Cowboys and Ravens are 2 very difficult games, and then
Those
they
are
have
good.
the Bills
Those
at
are
the end
good
of it.
defenses, and then you have to keep pace with Buffalo.
Yeah.
So what'd you say? You said it was Cowboys.
It's Jets, Cowboys, Ravens, Bills are the Dolphins' next game.
Those-
Jets are flying high. Cowboys are terrific. Ravens we've already talked about,
Yeah,
and
those
then they
are
got the
ton-
Bills.
Those are
Those
none
all
of those
tough
games
games.
are gimmies. Those are all
tough games. You know,
Or
Jets don't want to
I think
lose
you
to
look
them.
at Buffalo, and I think you'd say the Patriots won, and there was another one, the Chargers.
Chargers. Those
Chargers.
are gimmies.
Those
Those
should,
are
Chargers
those
layups.
is
should
a
be
gi- gotta
fairly
be a
easy wins
gimme.
for the Bills, especially
Yeah.
with Jacob Eason or who's in there, Easton Stick.
Easton Stick has been playing for the Chargers. Yeah.
The
Good
guy's
old
name is
Stick.
Easton Stick.
Yep.
Stick. The horrible name. I
All right.
mean,
Yep.
All right.
Pretty good. All right.
All right.
Thanks for that. Okay, so coming up next week, we have Patriots hosting the Chiefs. We'll see if Taylor shows up for this one, given that
She's
it's not a prime
supposed to be
time game.
there.
Oh,
Is
She's
she?
fuck.
supposed to be there.
Oh god, I didn't even think about that.
Oh,
dude.
that's awesome.
Traffic's gonna be
Love
off.
it. Traffic's gonna be even worse. You got to be there early, I'm sure, to set up the skylight,
Yeah.
sky cam.
It's
don't-
It's not getting in. I'm worried about. It's leaving.
Yeah,
There's a lot of Saturday games. They're starting the Saturday games, huh?
there are. Let's talk about the Pats first.
Ay vey.
So normally we would start the conversation with how do we stop the Chiefs offense? But realistically, it's the Chiefs defense has been tremendous this season.
Really good.
and
Yeah.
Really good.
against our offense, my God, the mismatch there. This is another one of those games. I don't think we scored 10 points. Like I think
Yeah.
10 is the max we're going to put on the board. And Mahomes is going to score double digits. So
They're pissed.
yeah.
They're gonna be pissed after last
They're gonna be
week. Seeing
pissed.
Mahomes like that on the sideline, those guys are gonna respond. Especially Kelsey, some of those other guys. Rasheed Rice.
Or as we've seen many times in the NFL, play devil's advocate. We've seen things like this turn into more than a hiccup. I doubt it for the Chiefs though. But hey, you never know.
They're well coached. I think they'll be fine.
I
Good-
mean, they
it's
should
a
be
good
fine.
defense. What is Bill gonna do? He's gonna try to take away Kelsey, I would imagine.
Right.
That's what we do. That's what Bill always does.
Yeah.
So you're really talking about stopping their run game and then containing Mahomes to the point where he doesn't have all day to find a Rasheed Rice or Kadarius Toney or who they get. They got McCall Hardman back, right?
Nicole Hardman's there.
Yeah. Valdez Scantling.
Valdez Scantling. All those guys are fairly average players, but they can hurt you, especially Tony in space. He's a little dangerous. So
Rashi Rice has been putting together some good games.
he's
He had a
been
penalty
he's been
last
good.
game,
He's a,
but
he's, a rookie,
he's like
but
their lead receiver. Their number 2 second round pick last year. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Second
I mean,
round this year.
I think if if you take Kelsey out, you can. Their offense is clearly affected when you take Kelsey out. That's kind of what happened this last game.
It's
Yeah,
also
it's just not that
affected
easy. It's just
when
not
Pach-
that easy.
It's not that
Pacheco-
easy, no.
Pacheco didn't play last week. That was a big
That's
deal.
true, and he has been playing really good.
Yeah.
The last
Edwards,
few weeks
Hilaire, and
before this
McKinnon
game.
looked
So
pretty solid last week, though, too.
I'm curious, man. I'm curious to see how we play them. If can they come out and score quick and make it a game? It would be fun to watch. That'd be
It'd be fun.
hilarious. I'd
Talking about the
I'd
Patriots,
enjoy
can-
it.
You talking about the Pats? Can the Pats come out quick and
That's
score?
what he's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, can they score quick, make it a game? Make it an interesting game because by 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, this looks like an absolute 45-0 stinker. Likely to watch.
I think
which
it's
is
Yeah.
I think it's going to be something like that. I think it's going to be really frustrating how much time Mahomes has and who he's able to find with that time.
You think so?
Yeah.
We've had a good pass rush, man.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I like the Mac Wilson thing last week. That worked pretty good. They put
That
the
was
Mac
great.
Wilson at the defensive line with Keon White on the interior
Makes
next
plays,
to
too.
Barmore,
They've been dialing up some nice blitzes.
and then Wise on the outside. I think that in Uche on the outside. I like that pass rush package. They only got 2 sacks last game, but they've been somewhat consistent. It's not like they disappear for a little bit stretches at a time, but they kind of figure things out. They do get sacks. They do get some pressure. So
I like.
I got
John doesn't think it'll matter.
Go ahead.
though.
Let's see
No.
predictions.
I got Chiefs 27-10.
I got Chiefs 23-10.
I'm gonna make it close. Chiefs. Yeah, I almost said Pats.
Do it.
Chiefs
Don't do
27-24.
it. Oh,
my God,
how many
24.
special teams touchdowns are in that?
I'm gonna call it a defensive touchdown. We've been
Wow.
waiting a long time for defensive touchdown. This
Okay.
defense is good enough. We haven't had one. I don't think all season. Has there
I can
been one
see that.
this season? I
I
think
can
we're gonna
see
get a
that
defensive
way-
touchdown.
I could see that way more than I could see a special teams touchdown. Our special teams is atrocious.
God, awful.
Oh
It's
my God.
amazing that Cam McCord, if Belichick gets fired, which I don't think is going to happen, Cam McCord should be the first one to go next to him.
I would have fired him years ago.
It's amazing he's still got a job because it's also he's not even the guy still. It's
But-
like Joe Judge is the guy and he's
gotta
like
say-
the assistant.
I'm gonna say Ty Montgomery being gone is addition by subtraction.
It is. I
He is
agree.
100% useless. Like
Demario Douglas is practicing again. He might be back in this
Oh, that'd be
game.
great.
I'm
That'd be
curious to see what things look like with Demario Douglas on the field while Zappy's throwing him the ball. And if Juju Smith-Schuster, this is Juju's previous team. He showed up a little bit against Pittsburgh. That was his previous team. Maybe he has something to prove against Kansas City. Has more motivation this week to show, hey, you guys got rid of me and I wanted to stay, whatever the hell happened there. So that pairing with Demario Douglas, and Mike Gesicki completely disappeared last week. I think he's just done. So
He's done.
we'll see if he's got anything. But I kind of like that, going to that core of guys. Douglas, Smith-Schuster, Henry, Elliott, because Stevens is out. I don't know. That's a little exciting. It's a little small grain of salt excitement, but I'll take it at this point.
Glass half full over there.
Yep.
Not bad.
Yep.
Okay, some other games. Thursday night, no reason to tune in. Chargers, Raiders, backup quarterbacks on both sides. Nobody cares.
So many backup
it's
quarterbacks.
turned into a
Bad.
horrible
They're everywhere.
game.
Dude, you go down.
I mean,
first
go down the list,
Yeah, Vikings, Bengals, both backups. Steelers, Colts, both backups.
right? It's like every
Bears,
game.
Browns, backups. Oh my God, Texans, Titans. I mean, kind of backups. I'll give Will Levis will probably be the starter going forward, but still, backup.
Yeah. Right.
Jets. No, not
Jets are a backup.
No,
Nope.
isn't Zach Wilson starting again?
He is, but Aaron
Oh, yeah,
Rodgers
he's
was supposed to be
technically
starting.
the backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bailey Zappi,
Giants, Saints, backups.
DeVito.
God, there's a lot of shitty games.
There's so many. I mean, it's like at least half
Dude.
the league is playing
There's-
backup
There's
quarterbacks
a lot of
right
shitty
now.
games that could be close by like default because all their players,
terrible.
quarterbacks are hurt or whatever.
Really too bad. But you got a couple. We got a couple.
We got a couple. Let's talk about the Saturday games. So Vikings at the Bengals. Bengals are playing well. Vikings are now at Nick Mullins at quarterback.
They should just call Saturday backup quarterback day.
Mullins.
Yeah,
Tune
right.
in for
But,
backup
Dobbs is
quarterback
hurt too?
day.
Dobbs got benched. Dobbs kept turning the ball over.
Benched
Got benched.
Wow.
after those huge wins, and
Yeah.
everyone was talking about how great he was.
He's a spot starter. That's what we
Wow.
learned.
Shocking.
Pittsburgh at Indianapolis. Pittsburgh needs it in a big way. Indy's coming off a tough
Dude,
loss.
so does Indy. I mean,
Yeah,
Indy's right there with Pittsburgh. It's
It's a
7-6.
playoff game. This is a playoff game for those two teams.
It's the sad part is this is a playoff game. That's the saddest part about it.
Yeah. And then to cap it off at night, the Broncos are playing the Lions. Broncos are still making that
That's an
push. Lions
interesting
are a bit of
game,
a
yeah.
slide. The fact
Broncos
this game,
are 7-6. This is a playoff game.
the Lions are at home. Lions play well at home. I know they lost on Thanksgiving, but I think they'll handle this one.
It's a pretty good game. It sucks. It's on NFL Network, huh? These are all on NFL Network.
All of them. NFL Network scooping
So,
up 3 games on a Saturday
How are
in
you
December.
supposed to get it if you don't have NFL Network? That's it.
You got to work your magic. That's what you got to do. Okay. Sunday, we got some good games on Sundays. Cowboys, Bills, we touched on before.
Yeah,
Uh,
very good game.
2 teams that are on a bit of a streak right now. The game
More
is in,
reasonable playoff game.
it's in Buffalo. Game's in
That's
Buffalo.
big.
It's huge.
Dak, what can Dak play outside?
He just where was I think the game was in Texas against the Eagles, this most recent one.
Yeah, it was I think so.
I feel like Philly's kind of the worst weather that Dallas travels to on a regular basis. I don't know. I think I'm leaning Bills. I don't know why. I don't know why. I look at that
tough to
Dallas.
lean the Bills though.
I know. I look at that Dallas pass rush and what the Bills offensive line is putting together, and I'm not. I don't know.
They never play each other.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a
Buffalo's
Super Bowl
minus
rematch.
2.5. You know,
I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
I'm
when they
like-
played
Super
each other.
Bowl
Last-
rematch from what 93,
1991. No, 92, 93.
91.
92,
92,
93.
It was
Oh, man, those
93.
some
Yeah,
memories there.
They played both 2 years in a row.
right. Yeah.
I just think the Bills want it more. The Cowboys kind of just had their big moment of beating up
Right.
on the Eagles, and could be a letdown game for
It's gonna
them.
be a good game. It's gonna be a good game.
Cowboys don't feel
36
like
in
a
New York.
10-3.
It's gonna be cold for those boys, those Texas boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Buffalo at home. I don't know. It's weird that they never play each other. They've played each other twice since 2015. That's weird, right? 8 years, only seen each other
That's
twice.
Well, no, that's about right because
That's
when you're
average.
an-
Yeah,
NFC when you're an NFC team, you know,
you play
them-
each AFC team every 4 years.
right?
It's odd. Cowboys don't feel like a 10-3 team. I feel like the Bills need. I mean, now is the time, right? In Buffalo, take this game, start to run with it.
Yeah, yeah,
make
for
a run
sure.
at this thing. If they don't, I mean, if they go back to 500 ball, then I mean, you're seriously questioning whether or not they can even make the playoffs as a wild card team.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah,
Huge
man.
game. Huge game for the Bills of Buffalo. Bucks at Packers. Packers on the slide. Bucks trying to keep a divisional lead there in the NFC South.
Divisional lead at 6 and 7.
I don't have a lot to say about this game. 2 years ago, this would have been a marquee game. Right now, not so much. Baker Mayfield is acting as a serviceable starting quarterback.
Yeah,
he's
Right
fine.
now.
right.
He's
Yeah.
fine.
He's got his ebbs and flows.
You know, I don't like to get into this too early, but he's going to be a free agent. He's not a horrible
like
stopgap
it.
guy for a year.
I like it.
You
I
know,
like it.
if for some reason Patriots trade down or whatever and decide not to, you know, draft a quarterback, wherever they're picking, it's not a horrible idea to bring
plug-in
Baker
guy.
Mayfield in. Yeah,
They
he could do
liked
a lot
him.
worse.
There was a lot. Remember pre-draft for Baker that we really liked him.
A lot of smoke. Yeah, there was. Who knows? He will be available. I imagine Tampa's going to be in the market for a rookie quarterback. Also in the NFC South, Atlanta, who's also vying for that divisional lead, is playing Carolina. So this goes into the draft watch category.
Ugh, gross.
Does Carolina have any life in them? Can they get 2 more wins this year? 2 more. That's all I ask.
I've
No.
been watching them, like trying to root for them to get a win or two. They're just fucking pathetic.
So bad, dude. They're
Their
so
offensive
bad.
line is like, oh my god, dude, what are you doing to this kid? You know, and their defense is really pretty fucking good.
Yeah, they have some players. They have some.
They have the
legit
fourth-
players.
They have the 4th ranked defense in the NFL.
Damn.
Like their offense is just ridiculously bad. The offensive line is just like
They don't have any weapons,
gotta
man.
be-
It's just everything. It's the whole offense. I mean, we talk
it's the
about how
full package.
bad our offense is. It's like, you know, they don't have an easy puff schedule coming up here too. It's the Falcons, Packers, Jags, Bucks. So
Damn.
no, you know, real shit matchups there.
Steal this one, Carolina, please. The team that we're tied with for that second worst record in the league, Arizona Cardinals, hosting San Francisco
Niners.
49ers. It's over. It's over. Call this
That's
one.
horrendous.
Yeah.
See you later. Another good game, surprisingly. The Bears at the Browns. Bears coming off their biggest win in the season. The Browns
Yeah. Man,
Browns have put together a couple good games with Flacco at QB. Flacco keeps going back to the practice squad. He's like, he shows up on my
Dude.
fantasy team like not available. I'm like, no. He's their starting quarterback
How
I'm
he's
watching
on
him
their
throw the
practice
ball,
squad.
too.
He's
because
being.
he keeps reverting to their practice squad.
They didn't sign him.
They haven't signed him yet. They just keep elevating him.
That's
Dude, he
hilarious.
still throws the ball so fucking hard.
Yeah, he's the arms still there. 38 years old.
Dude, I mean, it's sad. This guy's been out of the league for 2 years or whatever. I mean, I think a year. What did he play last year, technically, for the Jets?
I think so, but not really.
Maybe for like a game. And it's like he comes back in and he's not playing like unbelievable, but he's kind of putting on a clinic compared to what we've been accustomed to seeing from most quarterbacks in the league.
He threw for 300 yards last week.
That's what I mean. He's
I
coming
would
in.
kill for a 300-yard game.
He's the best quarterback that's played for the Browns this year, and that includes Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy. He can come in. He's a traditional pocket passer, and everyone's saying, pocket passer is kind of gone. And here's this dude. He's kind of picking people apart. He's not afraid to go downfield. He's kind of just got this I don't care attitude anymore because he doesn't. I think he's just having fun.
He's a good fit
Kinda what
for
he
that.
said.
He's a good fit for that team too, because
For
they
that
actually
system,
have a pretty
is.
good offensive line.
Yeah. I mean, maybe a pocket passer isn't dead. Maybe it's the way these guys are coaching or something, because this dude is from the older generation of NFL football at this point, and it still looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
I
right.
think with a good enough offensive line, you could still have a pocket passer, but
Problem
just
is
a
no one has
matter
good
of-
offensive lines.
no one's got him right now.
Dude, the Giants Saints game is going for $18. The Falcons Panthers game is going for $12.
Oh my
The
God.
ticket
How
sales
much about your ticket?
continue to be fucking disaster. Bears Browns $25.
Yeah,
Jeez.
plummeting everywhere. All right. The primetime games, Sunday Night Football. Baltimore Ravens traveling to Jacksonville, two division winners right now. Definitely feels like the Ravens are the better team.
Should
Right
be.
now,
Well,
yeah.
and is Lawrence, what's the deal with him? So he played? Did he
He played.
start the game?
Oh
He
yeah,
started, right?
yeah.
I can't believe he played after that injury. That injury looked like he fucking broke everything in his lower leg.
I know. He must have had one hell of a tape job. This is sneaky, one of those games Jacksonville hangs in. I feel like they play to the level of the opponent lots of times, where they'll get up for big games.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, they got smoked by the Niners. I'm still taking Baltimore in this game, but I'm taking them because of Justin Tucker. I think it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Baltimore. I think they're playing a good brand of football right now. Lamar is showing up most of the time. And just that injury on Lawrence, it's just another. I know it's in Jacksonville, so it's at home. It's not going to be very cold or anything, but that ankle injury, man, Jesus.
Yeah, and
how
he was
long can
not.
you keep playing on that at an effective, good level?
Some of the throws last week were pretty erratic.
Yeah, dude.
Dude,
Like he's
so-
not going to have a lot of power or control at the same
Yeah.
time. He might get some power, might get some accuracy, but not both at the same
Yeah.
time. At least I would think.
I admire the effort, but if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not right, if you're going to cost the team, he had 3 picks last week. He doesn't seem right to me. So
I mean, I would have taken a week or two off if I were him, because I get it. He's in the playoff hunt. Not in the playoff hunt. They're in the playoffs. So, you're playing for seeding and, that to surefire you getting there. So I get that, but I probably would have taken a week or so off and been like, listen, we need you in the playoffs. You're not
Mhm.
getting a bye. Like, we need to get that thing, at least the swelling down before you go back on the field, because
I think they
rushed that, man.
I'm looking at the Texans with losing CJ Stroud. You're probably safe. I don't see the Colts.
That's true. That's also
winning
that's a
much
good point.
more. You just need to win that division. You don't need to go, 12-5. You just need to win the division. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
it
2
might
more
not
wins
be the
will do
worst
it.
thing to take your foot off the gas for Trevor Lawrence. Was it Beathard?
I mean, I would have done it for a game, I would have done
I
it
know.
for a
The
week.
thing is, if you were going to do it, you would have done it last week. and
No,
not
yeah,
this
you don't do it now.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. Tough game for them Sunday Night Football. Monday night, the Eagles traveling to Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle's frisky. Seattle
frisky.
They're on a
Seattle
little bit
plays
of a
hard.
slide, though.
A little bit. DK Metcalf is throwing punches.
Showed up. They've
Um,
lost 4 straight, dude.
yeah, they're I don't know. They're
All
fiery.
good teams. All good teams. They had lost
And they
the
get another one.
Rams, the Niners twice, and the Cowboys. So that is a
That's a
tough,
gauntlet.
tough 4-game stretch.
And now they cap it off with the Eagles coming into town off of difficult loss for the Eagles. I'm still in the camp that says Jalen Hurts doesn't look right.
Yeah, he doesn't. He looks slow getting up when he gets hit, right?
Yeah, I think he's gonna keep playing, is what it seems like. Eagles probably have the edge in this game. They're just so complete. But I don't know. See, something about being in Seattle. I know it's not as vaunted home field as it used to be. But there's something about it that gives me some pause.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I don't like the way they've looked these last couple weeks. I mean, you would have thought after the 49ers game they would have come out and showed a lot more fight against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They did not, and now they're going to Seattle. It's a tough place to play. Seattle's chippy. They're going to get after you, and I think they're going to lose 3 straight here. And they need to get their act together, and they're lucky. The end of the season is Giants, Cardinals, Giants.
Literally, dude.
So
that's what it seems like is going to happen, right?
and they'll
It's their
probably
saving grace.
retake the division just on those 3 games. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that both those NFC East leaders probably lose this week. I'm going to go Seahawks in that one for sure.
Boom. Boom.
Nice. I like it. I agree, right? You know, they've last 2 weeks that they've lost, they have lost the Cowboys, Niners, 2 of the best teams in the league, but they got crushed. You know, it wasn't really a competitive game kind of past the first half. They lost 42-19 against the Niners, and Dallas they lost 33-13. Seattle has a good defense. Seems like they're starting to have trouble scoring points. I don't really know why. Their offensive line's breaking down a little bit. So yeah, I think the Seattle will win, and then they'll win those last 3 games.
The
Or
Eagles
2
just
of those 3 last games, you know.
they haven't been convincing for a while. I mean, they beat, so they lost to
Yeah.
the Cowboys and 49ers last 2 weeks. They won by 3 in overtime against the Bills.
The Bills
They lost by 4, or they won
on
by
a
4 to the
suspect. Wasn't there a suspect call in there to
yeah,
get that?
but they won
I
by 4
remember.
against the Chiefs. They won by 5 against the Cowboys.
Right,
They
they're all
won by
close games.
7 by the Commanders. They haven't beat a team by more than 1 score since they played the Dolphins in Week 7.
Right.
You know, and it's like we've been waiting for this thing to get on track with all the talent they have on the roster, and it just hasn't happened yet.
Well, we've been
So-
waiting for them to kind of get towards their ceiling, and we kept
Right, and
thinking,
they haven't
okay,
even come close to it.
it was going to be
really.
the Niners game or it was going to be the Cowboys game, and then they went the reverse direction. So yeah, man.
They're getting a wake up call right now, and it might continue on Sunday night.
Yep.
Yeah, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 out of 5 days.
And
NFL
then
football.
Christmas, the following week, it's crazy too, isn't it?
It is. I think it's Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 3 games on Monday on Christmas
Thursday,
Day.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, 3
Wives don't love
games.
that when you watch football 4 straight days.
Especially when the holidays happening.
Yeah.
Oh god,
2
they can't
weekends in a
stand
row.
it. And you see the game, the Christmas night game,
No, who's playing?
Ravens Niners,
Oh
That's a
boy,
good game.
another Super Bowl rematch.
ABC,
That could be a
ESPN
Super Bowl
Plus.
preview.
That could be.
Yeah, you got
Ooh,
this.
that might be the betting favorite for a
Cowboys
Super Bowl
Dolphins
preview.
is that week. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Cowboys
Wow.
Dolphins is a fun one. That's a good game.
Damn,
That's about it.
lots to look forward to here. We'll see how the Patriots fare against the pissed off Chiefs coming up to Foxborough this week.
Yeah.
We'll see. At least one of us has a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
And we all know who to blame if the Skycam malfunctions
Yeah.
and drops
all
on
good.
Walt Anderson's head.
You know what?
Yep.
You should be thanking me. You know? That
Yeah,
happens.
right. Mahomes is going to be looking for a call on the home team.
Hey, before we get off, did you see the Gronk and Edelman
I saw
um,
snippets of it.
interview
No.
with, oh my God, Gronk is talking about how the Chiefs are so pathetic for blaming the football because they were just pounding their ass for years and years and years. And so they had to blame something because just ran for 300 yards on them. So they go, oh, the football's a little deflated. They were just making fun. Him and Edelman were just making fun of him, man. That was awesome.
That is
Awesome.
Classic. I'll have to check that out.
What was
I
the
bet.
podcast?
I'll send it to you. I gotta
Okay.
look it up. I'm not really sure off the top of my head.
And all you listeners, you can just Google it. I'm sure it'll pop up. All right. Well, thank you all for listening and tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe to the video. Rate and review. My God, words are hard. To the podcast, subscribe to the podcast as well. Appreciate you guys listening and sticking with us through this season. And we'll be back next week.
All right, guys. See you.
Adios. Nice.